So this is a quick video, and it's about politics. So if you don't like politics, don't watch this. It's really about Donald Trump's campaign and trying to help him out a little bit here. A lot of the politics that are coming against him in his campaign for the Republicans to fight are related to health care and pre-existing conditions. Now, we all know that pre-existing conditions occur because people have comorbidities, and these things last with you forever. Sometimes you're born with a pre-existing condition, like diabetes type 1. You can't do anything about that. You're born with it. It costs a lot of money. However, because Donald Trump's a conservative, he has to think about his base and what conservatism is. So my suggestion is that he implements a $10,000 write-off per year against federal taxes based on how much health care is provided to you during the year that you paid for out of pocket. So as if it's an out-of-pocket expense. So you'll be able to write off things like medical care in full if you have an emergency otherwise. Medications, maybe 30%. The deductible on your insurance, maybe 100% for your co-pays, and then maybe your insurance from work, you know how they charge you for that, maybe 30% off of that. But however he does it, it has to be based on people who are working, who exist in the system that are currently working, because you're not giving them money, right? It's money they've already put in. And in a conservative value, the idea there would be that the people that need health care, that have those conditions, can keep having those conditions and can keep paying for them. And then when you put in for your federal taxes, at the end of the year, you get the money back to you to help you roll over for another year. The design is just plain like that. And younger generations, younger kids that are very healthy, this wouldn't really affect. However, if they did have a preconditioned illness like HIV or what's another horrible one? Heart failure. Heart failure is terrible and it's very expensive. Well, then you're providing them something. And now my second thing to offer you is this. Back in the 1990s, the Democrats made it so that the American people were beholden to debt forever. Just forever. People have lost their homes, their lives. There's people living on the streets, I guarantee you, in California right now that would love to get off the streets, but their debt won't allow them to ever own a home again. So why bother working? Being homeless is cool. We need to think about restructuring our bankruptcy laws in order to enable people through bankruptcy to restructure themselves in order to have the debts relinquished after X number of years. So if you've had a medical bill from a heart attack that's $500,000 from 10 years ago or 7 years ago, well, it's time that bill gets taken care of and gets written off, because it really doesn't exist. It's never going to get paid for. If you have student loans that are 10 years old or older, well, it's time for you to get those written off. And then you're not writing them off. What you're guaranteeing is that for the next 10 years after that, any federal returns that are coming back to you go towards that debt. So the debt's assumed and it's relieved, but the debt is not invisible. So you can do that with a couple different things that they made in the 90s so you can get away from. Even child support. Child support's crazy. You got people with children that are 40 years old that can't get out of their child support because they've just been pushed under the water so deep that they can't breathe. These are things that the Republican Party can do in the eye of conservatism that don't give away the bank, that enable you to have the face of socialism, but at the same time, they're really paying for it themselves. And Mr. Trump, you know all about bankruptcy. It's no big deal, right? God bless you, buddy.